Hi, I'm Matt Hickman, editor of Wakeboarding Magazine, and I'm out here today with CWB Pro rider Zane Schwenk, and we're checking out the new CWB Ride Wakesurf board. Zane, why don't you tell me a little bit about what types of boats you can wake surf behind and what conditions are best?
Well, first off, you never want to ride behind an outboard, an inboard outboard, a stern drive, or a jet drive. You really need an inboard boat for this. Most inboard boats will create a great surf wave just by putting a fat sack on the side of the wave that you want to ride on, or getting a bunch of buddies out there. And then you ride between 9 and 13 miles an hour in a big circle. One side of the wake is going to be a little bit better, so you just ride in a big circle and you'll get a great wake.
That's killer, man. Tell me a little bit about what type of a rope or rope length you use, and what's some safety issues concerning that.
Well, I use a Proline Deluxe weave rope. Reason being, I don't have a handle back there in case I fall. I don't want to be catching up in the handle. This is about 20 feet in length and allows me to choke up and get into the wave. I can get up really easy, but it's just a safe way to get out there and ride.
So Zane, I noticed, out on the wake surf board, you're having a pretty good time, tearing it up. It looked like you were a pretty safe distance from the boat. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about, exhaust and carbon monoxide?
Well, carbon monoxide poisoning from the engine's exhaust may result in injury or death. So, to reduce the CO exposure, you want to make sure you ride far enough back from the boat. The other big thing is you really never want to drag or platform drag behind the boat. If you ever fall and you have the rope, just let go.
As with any behind the boat water sport, flotation is really important. So why don't you talk a little bit about some safety issues regarding flotation and the proper vest to wear when you're out wake surfing?
Well, at minimum, you need to use a Type 3 Coast Guard approved vest, which this vest is. The great thing about it is it helps me float a little bit higher and I can get up on the board a lot easier. Without it, you're just going out there and being stupid.
What about the start, Zane? What's the safest way to start and get up on a wake surf board?
Well, the safest way is to start in the water. And the reason being, you don't want to tangle your hands up in the rope. Another thing with the rope is if you do throw the rope back into the boat, make sure the riders in the boat don't coil it up and don't throw it back to you, because you could somehow get that caught up. You don't want to get your hand caught in the rope. Another couple things that you really need to watch out for are shallow water, docks, pilings, other boats, jet skis. All that stuff can be out there, so really keep your eyes open to the situation on the water.
Zane, the driving is probably a really important aspect of wake surfing. So what are some things the driver needs to think about while he's got someone behind the boat?
Well, first thing, he's got to use extra caution approaching a fallen rider. Keep eye contact with them, put the boat in neutral when you come around, shut the boat off when they're getting in and out of the boat. For the takeoff, the driver should just do a smooth and slow acceleration. You don't want to really mash on the throttle. You want a nice smooth acceleration and hold that speed really good and just do a big turn to the left or the right and make a great wave.
That's great. What about some weighting issues with the boat? What are some weight guidelines that you should think about?
Well, you never want to exceed the manufacturer's weight guidelines, but you really want to get the weight to one side of the boat, the side that you're going to be surfing on. Generally, that's a toe side edge there that you're going to be surfing on, and that'll produce the best wake out there. Start with a board floating flat on the water, perpendicular to the boat, on the side of the boat you intend on surfing. You want your heels in the approximate area you'll be standing on when you're riding. Place your heels on top of the board, slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and float on your back in the water while wearing your Coast Guard approved flotation device. Use a rope without a handle, such as a Proline Knothead, Y-Knot, or Deluxe Weave surf rope. Hold the rope while you tell the driver to take the slack out. The driver should then put the boat in gear, and this will create enough flow pressure so the board will flip up under your feet so you'll have full contact with the board. Putting some downward pressure on your heels also helps. Your body position should be bent knees, eyes and shoulders facing the boat, and when you are ready, signal the driver to accelerate slowly. Let the boat pull you. Do not pull with your arms or push with your legs. Keep your arms straight. As you start planning, stand up on the board. The motion is similar to wakeboarding. The board's fins will straighten the board right out for you. Keep your knees slightly bent and locate a neutral point on the board. You're now wake surfing. As you surf, keep your feet pointed towards a wake. Slightly wider than shoulder width apart, putting a weight on your front foot will make the board accelerate towards the boat. Putting a weight on the back foot will slow you down. As you get the feel for surfing, you'll find the sweet spot in the wave. Then you can start cutting left and right and leaning front and back. Once you feel comfortable, Surfing without the rope is no problem. Gently toss it to the other side of the wake or to someone in the boat. This is the new Ride Wakesurfer from CWB. A couple great features about this board are the triple fin system, which is great for a beginner, but when you want to get crazy and do some spins, take out that back fin and you can let it loosen up. Or you can put that back fin in and get rid of the two side fins, and you have a great spinning board. Another great feature are these grooves. They lock you into the wave, they help you stay with the wave, and they keep you on top of the water. Another feature is this tip fin. If you do a 180, you can lock in and ride this board switch down the wave. Now the board's got a very low rocker design, which allows it to be very fast on any size wave. Top that off with a really comfortable EVA deck, you got a great board. The EVA top deck incorporates a nice kick pad, gives you a lot more control on your heel side and toe side cuts. Another great feature about this board is the tip protector. The tip protector protects the board's tip against drops and dings. My favorite way to ride this board is with two fins in the back. It gives me a little bit of control, but I can still spin threes and just have a really loose time out there. But when I need the extra control, I can still get it out of these two fins.